Yo,
What's up?
how we doing, boss?
Good, man. Chilling.
LA, Philly,
No, man, I'm in LA.
and how's quarantine treating you?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. My time schedule's all messed up. I'm used to getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm getting up like at 11,
I know, so
12.
am I.
Like,
So am I. I've been
it's
doing the same
nuts.
thing.
Yeah.
How's
It's
that
crazy.
gym down? How's the gym down there? How's it been for business? Because obviously it's crippling for so many businesses. But you've just started up a great new gym in LA. You were
Yeah.
flying. I saw all your social media stuff. It was packed
Yeah.
all the time.
No, the
Typical, right?
gym, the gym, man, it was doing great. I mean, right now it's on hold, but it was doing great, man. Staying busy with it. It's one of those gyms where it's not really for boxers. It's more just the average folks that just
Mm.
get off from work, come to the gym. So it's dope.
Last time out was, I think, forgettable in that.
Yeah.
For the people who
Oh
don't know, basically, Gabe was standing by to fight Danny Jacobs because
yeah.
Julio Cesar Chavez is fucking crazy as shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we always felt that actually Danny Jacobs would probably end up fighting Gabe Rosado. So Gabe was standing by. He was going to have a little 8-rounder on the card just in case he didn't fight Danny Jacobs. Anyway, somehow, some way, Julio Cesar Chavez finds his way into the fight. So Gabe's in not much of a
It's
fight.
not
I'm gonna.
and he paid that extra million.
Yeah. Not me. Chavez did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to get Gabe on early, right? So Gabe comes to me, says, "Listen, why am I on so early?" I said, "Well, listen, there's such a packed card. You're in an 8-rounder. What I could do is we could
Well, I
float
was actually
you,
a 10-rounder.
10-rounder. I could
Yeah.
float you, and we'll fit you in. There's going to be stoppages, blah blah blah. Anyway, of course, there isn't really a lot of stoppages, and Gabe sits there for about 6 hours waiting to fight. Danny Jacobs goes out. The madness ensues. The beers come flying in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole ring is covered in Tecate, right?
Yeah.
And the commission say to me, "No, we're done for the night." Gabe's sitting there. I think by then, but even by that point, you were like, "Do you know what? Maybe I'll just go home." I
Yeah.
said to the commission, "Listen, give it 5 minutes. Let Gabe fight. He's been training, and I wanted you to have the win to get the win to come back because we know we're talking about world championship fights."
Yeah.
Anyway, you go out there. There was about 20 people there. Everyone's gone, and I'm doing the media backstage, and I'm popping out and watching. It goes the 8 rounds, and I see you coming back, and I was just like, "Oh no!" And you're like, "Yo, Eddie, what the fuck, man?" Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
"Mate, I just got to go and see someone. Wait a minute." But listen, I was pleased that you got out and got the win. You needed that win on your record coming off the Sulecki defeat. But we want to talk that you've given unbelievable entertainment over the years. We feel like you still have a lot left in the sport. I want to go straight. I want to go straight into the Daniel Jacobs question. Firstly, where does that beef come from? I saw something with you two on an escalator ages ago, but you two aren't like massive on beef. Do you know what I mean? Like Danny, I never really see Danny lose his head. The other night, I gave him the list of all the world champions at 68, and he says he wants to fight you.
Yeah.
So where does this come from?
I think it comes from with two East Coast guys. He's from Brooklyn. I'm from Philly. And me and him were supposed to fight years ago. It was way back from when I fought Peter Quillen for the world title, which was a fight I was winning and got stopped on cuts at the end. He was up to fight the winner. And then it kind of just stirred from there, where we were supposed to fight and it never happened. And then I said some things about him that he didn't like on, I called him a bootleg Andre Ward. He didn't like that. And then, so he threw shots back, and then that's just where it came from. But, I've been calling him out, been wanting to fight. I think the fight is huge just in boxing, period, but especially if it was in the East Coast, being he's from Brooklyn. I've headlined in Brooklyn and in Madison Square Garden, so I have a big fan base in his hometown. So it's just
Well,
one of
listen,
those
all we
fights
could do it in Philly. I spoke to him the other day. He said he was happy to come to Philly as well.
Well,
Great
you
atmosphere
saw
last
the
time.
crowd was selecting.
Oh man,
it was
that
nuts.
was unbelievable. That was one of my favourite fights
Yeah.
of the year. You and Sulecki. The atmosphere was unbelievable. But I agree. I think you against Danny Jacobs in New York or in Philadelphia goes well.
For sure.
You confident in that fight? I mean, look, he's a 2-time world champion. Moved to 168. You're not really a 168, Gabe, but like he's moving there.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. Me and Jacobs we did a camp years ago in Poconos, in the Poconos in PA, and you know, I kind of see his style. I've seen him throughout the years. I feel like, especially now, I'm with Freddie Roach now. Freddie Roach is just we had a great camp. We were preparing as if we were fighting Jacobs, thinking that Chavez would come out. So we had a great camp. Great sparring. I feel great at 68. I feel a lot stronger at 68 now that I don't have to cut down. You know, I walk around like 85. So for me to get down to 60, it takes a lot of work. So I like my chances with anyone at 68 right now. At 68 is loaded. So you got Smith, you got Saunders, and you know, you got Canelo, everybody, man. So I think with Freddie Roach, man, we're ready for whoever at the division.
You've been around boxing, you know boxing inside out. When we talk about that 68 division and we look at the champions, I'm going to give you those 4 world champions: Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Benavidez, and Caleb Plant. Starting with number 4, the weakest, I want you to rank those 4 champions for me. And don't sit on the fence.
So I would say number 4, because he's inconsistent, is Saunders.
Okay.
Saunders is the most beatable out of all of them because he's inconsistent and he's just everywhere. And this is a you know, I would put Saunders 4. I would put Plant 3.
Yeah.
Even though I like Plant a lot, but he hasn't fought, you know, really a big name. Then I'll put Benavidez, and then I'll put Smith.
Smith number 1.
Yeah, I really wouldn't consider Canelo the top guy because Canelo's holding the interim. And Smith holds the world title.
Yeah, 2 big guys. Smith and Benavidez, two monsters at 68 as well. 2 massive guys. I love that fight.
Benavidez is a really good fighter, but he's still young, so there's a lot of learning he has to do. But he's a good fighter. But yeah, I would put Saunders 4 just because he's very inconsistent. But Saunders has skills.
You know, he might start calling you out now if you put him number 4. He won't like that.
well, we were supposed to fight.
That's right. Yeah.
On the Paul fight, on the Paul card.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, it just didn't work out.
That's why we needed to get you to win. You're right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
But,
listen, so for you, hopefully we get through this soon, and we look to make that Jacobs fight on the East Coast. When we talk about your career, Gabe, you've had some amazing fights, some amazing nights, but you just keep kind of reinventing yourself. Like it's like, Rosado's done, then he comes back, gets a couple of good wins. I mean, you lost against Sulecki in a very tight fight, and in fact, if you would have started better, you would have won that fight comfortably. But what's left? What's left for Gabe Rosado? What does the future look like over the next couple of years? You've given a lot to the sport.
I think it's 4 on 15 years pro, which is crazy. Right? So Bernard Hopkins says you're lucky to have 10 years. So just to have 15 is insane. But I think I'm sharp, you know, the experience, and then I think now bringing in Freddie into this next chapter, I think is going to open everything up. I think for sure we're going to surprise the 68 division. I mean, I see my goal is to win a world title against whoever it is. I think at my A game, I can definitely do it. I'm my worst enemy, honestly. Any fight that I've lost, it wasn't like I got, you know, dominated. There were fights that were close, bad decisions or cuts or things like that. So it wasn't like I was ever, you know, maybe a Golovkin fight was a fight where he definitely got the best of me. You know, it was a Golovkin in his prime. But other than that, man, I've always been in a fight. I think it's just up to me to just staying focused, staying sharp, having a good camp, and then bringing in a trainer like Freddie who pretty much controls the camp. I'm a control freak. So if you allow me to control the camp, I'm going to call the shots, and it's going to be the way I'm going to do it. With Freddie, it was my first time doing a camp with Freddie where I literally just did whatever he wanted. You know, no entourage, no nothing. It was just me and Freddie. So that was kind of like something new where I went into the fight just feeling great, you know. So it was just a different look. So I think we're going to see Gabriel Rosado win a world title.
Good stuff.
Hopefully this year.
Well, I think the UV Jacobs is a good chance of happening, and I think the winner of that fight has to go on and fight for a world title. So listen, it's been a pleasure having you on, my friend. Stay safe over there. We'll catch up soon. Stay safe.
Oh, and prayers to your father as well.
Thank you, mate. No, he's good. Daniel Jacobs has just come on and done a laughing face. at you.
I
Any
got him. I
last
got
words?
something
Any
for him.
last words?
Listen, I will knock out Daniel Jacobs if the fight happens, because I can beat Daniel Jacobs. I see a lot of flaws in his game. I think he's more hyped than anything. I like the guy, but I don't think he's what they make him out to be. So I would definitely like to fight Jacobs to knock him out and do what Canelo didn't do or G didn't do. So definitely.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure he'll respond in due course, and we'll speak soon.
All right, for sure.
Cheers, Gabe. Take care, mate.
All right, man. Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.